Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. All right. So the first question I'd have would be, okay, let's say, for example, I have a subscription to WebEx, okay, to Cisco WebEx, and that's whatever, 23% and that kind of stuff. So I do the VAT analysis in QuickBooks on that. And do you know what I mean? I'm fine with all that, to be honest with you, okay? So then my question is that given that, for example, let's say probably 85 to 90% of my work is, you know, VAT exempt or zero VAT, whatever it is, because it's vocational training, how do I kind of like put in all the VAT that I get from WebEx? I'm using WebEx as an example, but do you know what I mean? Like, do I kind of say, okay, look, this is all the VAT I pay, or do I do some kind of percentage thing? And if I do the percentage thing, what do I do? I'll start with that.
Yeah. Are you registered for VAT yourself? You're not, are you?
I have registered for VAT this year. Yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay, just now.
Yeah, this year.
It's kind of a work in progress. And what I mean by that is I'll just tell you what goes on in practice. What will go on in practice is, let's just say you've 40% VATable sales and 60% exempt sales. Right?
Yeah.
What you're meant to do is not claim the VAT on 60% of your purchases then. Okay,
all right.
But if any of your purchases 100% related to the VATable sales, you can claim all the VAT on that.
Okay.
Right? So if there was a, say there was, well, I'll go the other way. Say there was a piece of equipment you used for training specifically, and there was VAT on it. You couldn't claim any VAT on that. Okay.
Okay.
And I run into this type of issue all the time with opticians. I have a good few opticians in our books here, and if they look at your eye and see how your eyesight is, there's no VAT on that. Okay.
Okay.
But then they sell you glasses out the front, and there's VAT on that. But the whole thing is say 500 quid combined.
Yeah.
And, so they have a thing called the 50-50 rule. Of the 500 quid, the 250 is exempt VAT, and 250 includes 23% VAT, basically.
Okay.
And we have to announce. Now that's that side of it, right? And then the tax man comes out, and they don't know. You'd be surprised. They won't know anything about these rules, and they'll want a full analysis of the sales in case there's a percentage either way. And so you've kind of got to keep it under review, is what I'm saying. So I think each VAT return, look at your sales, see what's VAT exempt. So let's say there's 35% of VAT exempt in January, say 85% of VAT exempt in February, and just disallow and allow the VAT month by month is how I would do it. Okay.
Okay. So if I was doing it then, so let's say, for example, I'll use my WebEx example, right? Because that's what I use WebEx for training. So if I actually just use it for training, then really I have to suck up the VAT on that. I can't really reclaim the VAT on that because I do it for training.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Okay. All right. So, but if, for example, let's say I'm doing a piece of like consultancy work, and I outsource that, for example, to somebody in Fiverr, and they charge me a VAT rate, as an example, I can put that in because it's related to VATable work.
Yeah. That'd be correct, yeah.
Okay, so that's a grade A pain in the hole now, to be honest with you, if I have to go through the VAT thing every 2 months, whatever it is. But if that's what it is, that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? At least I know what it is then. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know how to separate it on the bills on QuickBooks? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll figure that out. Yeah, I've looked at it already. Yeah, I've done the VAT thing on it, so I'll do it. So I think probably what might be a better thing to do, as I'm thinking as I'm going along, is basically, for example, if I take something like WebEx or it's related to training, I suck up the VAT on it. So I kind of would put down that it's not, I won't kind of analyze the VAT on it. I'll just say I'm going to suck up the VAT on it, really. That's probably the easiest thing to do. And then when I come across expenses that I think are, related to consultancy, then kind of do the VAT analysis on that. I think that's probably the easiest thing to do going on. What do you think?
Yeah, that's the easiest, and you aren't unusual by doing it that way, and at least you'll be right. It's hard to overturn you. Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I can't see myself now having a big visit from the revenue commissioners about what I do or don't do, and that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so that's yeah. At least now I kind of have a bit of a handle on that. Yeah, the next question I have then that answers it. Basically, the VAT returns, I would just do that through ROS, would I?
You would. It's you just have a look at your QuickBooks open here.
Okay.
Have a look at it there, just have a glance there before you come on. Here we are. Nice name on it too. So
yep.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you would just do it through ROS, but there's an important thing to do here about filing the VAT. Okay, so
Okay, great. Yeah.
what date did you register for VAT?
I think I can't remember the exact date, but I think it was in early January anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't done that, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing any numbers here. Let me just have a look at your
No,
page.
that's fine. I know I don't have any numbers in it because I haven't. All my work this year has basically been all training. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some consultancy in it, but also I didn't want to do the VAT analysis thing until I had spoken to you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, when you're doing the VAT analysis thing, okay, so what will happen is at any stage you click this number of VAT, it'll tell you up here how much VAT you owe. Okay.
Okay.
Because it's like
Yeah.
a work, it'll change every day as the month goes by.
Yeah.
So let me just check your VAT setting. You probably have it correct. Yeah. So you should really be on this cash button here. Okay.
Why would I be on cash as opposed to accrual then? Why?
Well, accrual, you pay the VAT on your sale, whether the client has paid you or not.
Okay.
And cash, you keep track of your P&L and all that will still be accrual, but
Mm.
you'll only pay VAT over when the client has paid you the VAT. Okay. But you can still claim the VAT on bills that you've got, whether they're paid or not.
Yeah, I don't know why, but just kind of I think I'd be happier kind of maybe just sticking with the accrual thing if that would be okay, just for the time being. Just
okay, yeah. It's fine, but it's not it's not going to make you well off.
That's fine. Yeah, I live with that. That's I have to suck it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, and the second thing is then, which is important, is so let's just say we're doing the January, February VAT return, and there's numbers in there. Okay. So once you're happy that the month is up or the 2 months are up, before you do the rusting, click this thing here, mark as filed.
Okay.
And it'll clamp all the VAT on sales and all the VAT on purchases in your system. So let's just say,
okay.
Yeah, and let's just say someone comes back to you and say, listen, you charged me not enough or too much or something back then, and you change the invoice. What it'll do is it'll leave these figures for January, February unchanged, and it'll bring the change that you made back in January, February into March, April.
Okay.
Into a new report, so it's easy to keep track of any changes.
That's good. Yeah.
And you aren't refiling that, because once you start refiling that, they're looking at you, and then
yeah.
out and all this,
Yeah.
So that should be yeah, but do submit it on ROS, but just make sure you've done the markers filed on this before you hit that.
Okay, that's really good. Yeah. Is there anything else you think I should know about because this is just the VAT? Anything else I think you should be aware of with the VAT stuff?
Okay, well, I suppose the other one is there's so many rates on this. I'll just have a look and see if you whittled it down. There's about 30 rates here now normally. Yeah. So these are, oh yeah, see you've added those two in. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't do it that way.
Okay, good. What would be a better way to do it?
Okay, so a couple of things on the VAT rates on QuickBooks. When you add a rate like this, it may not track through to the VAT returns or report.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just now of late it does seem to be working, because I've been onto the development guys, done a few webinars with them, been hired to do Irish stuff, and so I'm not finding that, but historically it's been a problem, and I still don't trust it. So
you change it to what I think, because I haven't really done any VAT thing yet until I spoke to you. So feel free to change it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just knock those out. So for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll show you what we'll do down to the one. Okay, and then the other thing is I'll just knock out before I move on to that what we don't need here. Okay.
Okay. So, now just before you do that, like I have two other questions as well. One of them is I've started with a new customer, okay, and I need to be registered on VIES, okay. So I didn't know any of this now before I got stuck with them, but to be honest with you, it's like it's like going for full tooth extraction, getting onto their supplier list. But I'm hoping that when I'm in. So and they want me to have like a VAT. Well, they're two separate companies, but so would I need to have a VAT rate that kind of corresponds to VIES, or what will be the story there?
Trying to remember VIES, are you doing an awful lot of work with them, is it?
I've sent them one invoice, right? And, you know, I swear to God, it was like a prenup that I was going to marry them. You know what I mean? They're millionaires, but they, in order to get on their system, they have to check that my VAT number is on VIES. And when I registered with VAT originally, I just said I was in the 26 counties, and I contacted the revenue, and they said you need to adjust to say that you'll be in the EU, but I don't understand it fully. So yeah, maybe just to talk me through that as well, if it'd be great.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if we don't come across it as much as you'd think. Let me just see VIES. I just basically when you're buying and selling within the EU, you go onto the E1 and E2, and I'll show you that in a second, right?
Yeah.
So buying or selling services or goods within the EU, or so E1 is selling services or goods, and E2 is buying services or goods. So that's quite normal. When you go for a certain amount, this VIES kicks in, and there's another form that goes in. And basically, you detail who you bought and who you sold from on a quarterly basis.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I wouldn't think you're selling. Now they might want you on that, but I wouldn't think you're selling enough yet. Let me just.
No, it's 50 grand. I'm not selling 50 grand to them. No.
Yeah, that was the thing. So, but as regards the rates, where are they based?
They're a multinational, right? So I think I'm not sure exactly where they're based, because the people I had were based in Ireland. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but I got this. Let me just look at the email here for a second.
Okay.
Oh, do you know what I mean? You think sometimes it's going to be easy, don't you? And then, of course, it's because it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just.
I'll stop the sharing case. Your camera's got very blurry there.
Yeah, I know it does that if I move it all. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Let me just thank you for a second. Yeah, it's like, it is a good enough camera, but it kind of, I think if the light isn't quite strong enough, or if the yeah, it looks as though they're based. Yeah, they're actually based in the UK, but I don't know. I think they've outsourced. They've back office somewhere else, and they just need to check that it's on VIES. But yeah.
Okay. So, there's another number as well called the EORI number. Have you come across that?
They haven't asked me about that. They just checked that I was on VIES, and because I think I'd put my VAT thing just to be in Ireland, it wasn't appearing on VIES. So when I contacted revenue, they said update your VAT returns, and then so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little and you might find that when you're on VIES, because I find out I have a new client, which is fine at the moment, got onto VIES, and it's approved here, works here, but over in Hungary where she's buying from, it's not coming up as approved. So there seems to be a time lag in different zones getting it through. Seems to be. We battled with this a little bit in the last month with another person as well, but they're through. But to go back to your VAT rates.
Yes. Yeah.
Is the key thing. You're selling services, and the rate you actually won't be charging them VAT if they're in the EU and have a VAT number. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's the key thing. So a couple of things on that. On the invoice, I'm just looking for EUS down here. Service EUS is the rate you'll charge someone in the EU.
Okay.
Including Northern Ireland, that has a VAT number.
Okay. So what's the name of that rate again? EU?
EUS.
EUS. Okay. Within EU have a VAT number.
And in this area on QuickBooks, VAT. Okay. VAT, edit VAT, and edit rates. You'll see all the rates. Now I'm going to get rid of a few of these now in a minute for you. But they won't be deleted. If ever we need them, we can get them back. Okay?
That's fine. Yeah.
All right. But anyway, that's the first thing. So I'll just get rid of some of these because. Okay, so you don't buy food within the EU, so that's coming out. You don't buy and sell on insurance, So that's coming
No,
up.
not yet anyway. No.
Not yet. Other exempts would be educational stuff from EU suppliers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see you buying that, but again, we can get any of these back. I'll leave out a scope there. You don't charge, like your training is exempt, not zero, so I'm taking that out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
It'll just slow you down when you're doing other things. These things.
That's fine. Yeah.
Do you for service support from reverse charge? No, that's where you buy, say, a consultant like me and have me deal with your customer, but I'm in France or something like that, so that's not
okay.
Reduced
It
rate.
might, but yeah, not really. No. Yeah.
Yeah, if it does, you click up here, include inactive, and you just make them active again. Okay.
Yeah. If you could share the screen, that would be.
Oh, why not share the screen?
No, not yet anyway.
Sorry, yeah.
We've all done it. Don't worry, we've all done it.
Yeah, sorry, I unshared it there when you look up the thing. Okay.
That's all right.
Well, it's on the recording anyway, again, but just for your benefit.
Okay, great.
You click on VAT, edit VAT, edit rates. They're all in there, okay?
Okay.
And I've got rid of a few, but how you bring them back is you click that little cog there, include inactive, and all the ones I've got rid of, I here reactivate if needed, okay?
Okay.
So I'm just going to keep getting rid of them. So those
remove anything that you think I don't need.
Yeah, because it's just getting your way. Okay, you don't sell goods. That's gone. A minute, at least you kind of see where I'm coming from. Okay, you don't buy goods outside of Ireland and resell them on.
No.
And the same with the next one, is kind of not selling them on. Standard rate stays.
Yeah, okay.
We don't buy and sell fuels. So I'm just explaining why I'm getting rid of these, you see.
Yeah, that's fine.
Reduced rate, that won't come interest now. 9% is only really advertising things. I'm going to take out that 9% rate.
Okay.
So the second reduced rate is up there. What else we got here? Standard stays, no VAT stays. Do you buy any software from Northern Ireland or France, Germany, anything like that?
Well, I have a Microsoft subscription and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so they're not
I mean,
resale. No, I'll take that out for the moment.
Okay.
Sometimes it's software. Sometimes you wouldn't know where you're buying it from. These are all second reduced rates, so maybe they're now. So for goods sold, that okay, won't need that one. We don't export. Okay, I'll just get rid of those three there. 1, 2. Do you have any customers in America or China?
I would sometimes have customers. Yeah, they'd normally pay via Stripe or PayPal more so. They wouldn't, and I would receive book royalties and that kind of stuff. But there's no. He just pays me the amount. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll leave the word export here. Okay.
Okay.
It's for people outside the EU and Ireland. So China and America would be typical. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll just leave it there, just so you know it's there.
Do yeah.
Purchase a retail standard rate.
No, I wouldn't. No.
No. Okay. Okay, I'm going to need the second reduced rate in on purchasing, because you might buy a magazine or something, and that's 9%. That's
okay.
A subscription. And you won't need that last one. And EUS is there. Okay, so we're only.
I presume that's a computer magazine, not Hello. No.
Yeah. That's it. But there might be some ad, in Hello that you say, Jesus, that's worth buying the whole thing for.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just come back up to dashboard for a second, and I'll go into one of your invoices. Okay, and you see here customer VAT number. So definitely when you're doing the EUS approach, have their VAT number on that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
No, I never even check them. If they give me a VAT number, I just put it in. But there's some way you can check it but generally.
Okay. Yeah.
Really. But the thing is, I'll just show you what happens. Let's see who your previous one was. So Denise. I'll just show you Denise. Denise is a good example here. Okay. Let's just say Denise was in France. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have that there. And now I'll change her back, don't worry. So we'll say we're going to be charging, so she's outside here, and I know that's trading, but let's just pretend it's not trading for the moment. I'm going to just do the standard rate. So we would have charged her 738.
Okay.
Just have a view date here a minute. I'm going to do a lot of changes with Denise now. I'm going to bring it back into the end of February.
Okay.
10th of March. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say need you to understand what will be happening here. Okay, so that's okay. You don't really notice anything. So 600 to Denise, but I'm just going to go back into VAT for a minute, and let's see there. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
138.
Okay.
Yeah. So we would pay over T1, T2. Are you familiar with the VAT return itself? Actually.
No, I haven't even looked at it yet. So yeah.
You know. Okay. Well, I'll just show you say on my own VAT in a second. So what? But these are the numbers it's looking for. T1 is sales VAT charged. T1 is purchase of VAT charged to you, paid or not in cases. And T3 is T1 minus T2. So 138 minus nothing equals 138. Okay. That's your amount payable. Okay. I'll give you all the answers on this. And then you see these last bits here. Value of goods sent to other EU countries will always be nil for you.
Yeah.
Value of goods received. It might be the odd bit of software that you'll find. But, I'm going to show you how you do that. Value of services sent to other EU countries. All right. So now I'm just going to go back into Denise, and then you go mark as filed, and kind of brings you through. But I'm just going to come away from here a second. Back into that Denise one again. Just explain to you what's actually happening then.
Okay.
So Denise isn't in UHG. She's she's in Northern Ireland, we'll say. Okay. And we go EUS. She's given us her VAT number. Okay. Or France in that case. Doesn't matter as long as she's somewhere in the EU.
Yeah.
Save it. Okay. Go back into the VAT return. And you'll see there VAT on sales is now 0. You see here, value of services sent to other EU countries, 600. Okay.
Oh, that's because they use the EUS VAT rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you go over a certain amount in that, they will insist you register with VIES. Okay.
Okay. All right.
The first thing. And once you do that, you're keeping all those VAT numbers that we had there, say in this case with Denise Fahy, they go in every quarter, is my understanding.
All right.
And okay, so that's us selling. Okay. And over there in France, they will check, that she's declaring that properly.
Yeah. Okay.
And they do the same thing here, even for your own clients. When you're buying stuff from outside Ireland, but within the EU, we're giving our VAT numbers out.
Okay.
And they're getting their hands on it abroad, and the taxman will expect to see value of goods or services bought from other EU countries. And if he doesn't see it, they're out looking for you.
Okay.
It's the old story again, like, it depends on how big the issue is. And if it's something clerical, you might let it go. If not, they'll say you're filing incorrect VAT returns. Here's a penalty plus interest and all this crap. So,
yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
But just why it's important to keep track of it. So, but that's VAT return, and I'll just actually show you.
So, for example, let's say this company now, right? Let's say this multinational. So when I'm invoicing them, I'm going to need to have their VAT rate on it, and I'll probably just need to check with them, like, should I be using that kind of that EUS VAT rate when I'm actually invoicing them as well? I probably just need to check that too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So just their VAT number, really, or who's the end client. If they're based in England, they're actually out of scope in England.
Okay.
Yeah. So or no VAT, basically. No VAT or out of scope. So they're outside the EU. It's still a little bit of a grey area at the moment, but Northern Ireland is in the EU, even though they don't want to be. And you know the way they are. And,
yes. No matter what it is, no. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. And so that's what we use out of scope for that, which if you look on this settings here, edit rate, sorry. I mean, sales or purchases that should not be allocated within VAT. That's where we've been putting them because there was all this confusion. Yeah.
Okay, out of scope. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but then, but I noticed on some things happening now. I must ask again. There was something there lately. Yeah, there was invoices I was getting from the UK, and it's UK addresses, and they have my VAT number, and they're not charging VAT over there. And it was my understanding they should be. So I don't know. I mean, if not charged on VAT, we'll live with it, of course.
Okay. Now I do have one customer based in Northern Ireland, right? And so obviously when I'm invoicing them, like again, I would invoice them. It would be out of scope. Would be the way I'd invoice it. I'd say, would that be correct?
No, EUS.
EUS. Okay, yeah. So sales I put then. Okay, so sales to Northern Ireland is EUS.
Yeah, still.
But if it's to the UK, it's OOS.
It's OOS, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that way it doesn't interfere with the VAT return.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Now, when you get into revenue.
Yeah.
I'll just show you quickly because this won't take it.
Yeah.
There's a place there, file a return. So you got your this is myself, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So you complete a form online. It lists. Sorry, I've been kind of quick there. It lists various tax forms, but
yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
3. And you click file.
Okay.
And no outstanding periods. But those numbers I showed you, T1, T2, they're all here waiting.
Okay.
For E1, E2, goods,
okay.
Countries, and I don't see services there. Total goods to other EU countries. I thought there was an E3, E4. Let me see the next page. It won't let me through unless I put in numbers. But
okay,
E3,
fair enough.
E4 will turn up as well, and you put in that. But effectively, what I've showed you on QuickBooks, you just input it here.
In the fields, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's really useful.
That, yeah.
Now, the other question I'm going to ask you is that, for example, if I'll go back to my WebEx example, okay? So let's say I get my thing from WebEx and yeah, there's the bold Denise. Lovely.
I might just make one other update if you have.
Yeah.
Let's go back on track. And then end of March. Oh, okay now.
Yeah.
Just that service date. Do you need that, or is that in your way?
No, I don't really need the service date, no, because the dates will always be given in the invoice as to when I've actually done it. So yeah, that's the way I've been doing it, and that works fine with them.
It comes up kind of automatically, but I'll just take it out.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll just get in your way. Oh, that's
nice one. It's surprising.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
And that's under account and settings.
Yeah. And even though I've got rid of it there, it may reappear again, but it just gets in the way on your invoices.
Yeah, yeah.
Just help you out.
Great stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I suppose what I was going to ask you then was the thing about the so back to my WebEx or my software example, all right, which is used, I don't use it exclusively for training, but for all intents and purposes, practically, let's say it is, right? I mean, when I'm kind of like putting that into my system, right, should I just kind of, how should I just describe it as out of, you know what I mean, like what VAT rate should I use against it, or any VAT rate?
Exempt.
Exempt, okay.
Yeah. Have a look at one of your bills here to make sure they're coming up okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't use bills. I tend to do checks. I tend to kind of.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see exempt there.
Okay.
Let me just see manage rates.
Oh yeah. So just yeah.
Yeah, maybe I knocked off exempt. Oh yeah. You know, I knocked it off inadvertently. Okay, it's back on there now. Anyway, that's another shortcut to opening them up, by the way.
Oh, that's very handy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just in there and just manage rates. Yeah, shortcut in.
All right. So things like my WebEx, my Zoom, my software subscriptions, all the rest of that related to training, I put them down as exempt of VAT.
Yeah. Now Zoom comes from the US normally. I think is it? I think
It does.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So although it'll be exempt, the one to use on that one would be no VAT.
Okay.
But it's outside the EU, yeah. Outside the EU, no VAT, or out of scope. I think no VAT seems to work better. Yeah.
So outside the EU, it's no VAT. Okay. All right. If I purchase it from within Ireland, or it's kind of got an Irish date, I use exempt of VAT.
Yeah.
Within
Even
Ireland.
though there's VAT on it, you go exempt and put in the total or most of the total there.
Okay, that's fine. Now I have a software subscription with I use for my learning platform in the UK. How should I treat that?
That would be no VAT as well.
Okay, UK, so from UK as well, it's no
VAT. Are they charging you VAT over there?
There, yeah.
Yeah. Now, funny enough with them, because a lot of them don't understand it. I know this from meeting other English accountants. If you give them your VAT number,
yeah,
they may stop charging you UK VAT. Okay.
Okay.
Just, I mean, it'll reduce the cost for you. It'll be their issue, not ours. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, I had a really petty revenue audit about this years ago. Basically, we weren't charged VAT anyway, and the Irish woman wanted us to go back and pay UK VAT to the UK people.
Right.
Jesus, went on for ages. It was a really small amount of money, like a few hundred, and months went on, and she was. Anyway, we said, "Why? You know, it's not our problem."
Yeah, exactly.
And anyway, so the long story short, to shut her up and get out of her, we sent over like 212 sterling. I think we gave it to her, and she was to give it to the UK people. And in the meantime, there was a UK budget, and these were training manuals. That's what they were. They were training, something to do with yachting. And she said, well, because we bought them and sold them on as part of the course, they weren't our man. I can't remember. It went on for ages. And but basically, anyway, we gave her money to send to the VAT person. There was a change in the budget over there, and the people in the UK sent our people back the VAT plus interest in the end.
Right. Okay.
But we didn't bother telling the Galway one. We just wanted us to fed up her to the teeth. And so sometimes, but they don't know a lot over there. And I was over at a conference there late last year, and in a bar, of course, the guys are asking me about. They haven't a clue about the Brexit and the VAT rules. So if you give your UK VAT number to a UK supplier, there's every chance they'll go with the old rules and not charge you VAT. Okay.
Okay. So it's like that it's kind of like mentally that they kind of sort of, it's like one part of them knows they've left the EU, but they don't actually realize they have left the EU. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I have a couple of subscriptions then, or I buy stuff from a couple of people in the UK. So what I could do is actually maybe say, look, this is my VAT number, and I could ask. Do you know what I mean? I'll ask. Yeah, I'll ask. Yeah, that's then they can. It's up to them to decide. But I'll ask. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right. Oh yeah. So I have that question. VAT number. Now the other thing I got too apparently was I was sent a thing called a VAT 56B form. All right, that apparently I have to give to the accountant at the end of the year, or my account at the end of the year, and I'm not really sure what that is, but apparently I have to submit it to. I guess God bless Google. Very hard to explain to people that there was a time before Google. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm just looking at it here. I've heard the term, but not for a while. What is a VAT 56B?
Yeah, this company has this rate, so I don't know what that is, but that's.
Is that where they're VAT exempt? Let me see. I think I might know what it is. Yeah, that's what does that company do? And I need to know the answer straight off.
No, they're medical devices.
And they export, do they?
They export, as far as I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So what that is let's see this guy said here. Let's do with export.
As far as I know, that's what they do anyway.
Yeah, and for answer, I think I've got this a few times with people. Yeah, it's that's kind of telling you what the form does. What I'm looking at there. I give you if a company in Ireland exports more than 75% of its goods.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, that's exempt exports. Then they qualify for this VAT 56B, and they can give that to people like Aircom and all that, and they will not get charged VAT in Ireland for anything.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you an example of who I had it with. I had it with a distillery. I had it with a fish company that was exporting hugely, and somebody else. So it's just everything was leaving.
Okay.
But the thing is, the people charging the company. So I'll go back to Aircom and all that. They're meant to state the VAT 56B number on their invoice.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But in some ways, it's not relevant for me because I'll be like they'll be VAT either. You know what here? Either if they're outside the EU, it'll either be no VAT or it's exempt from VAT. Yeah.
Yeah. So someone has one of those forms and they're hiring you, is it?
Well, this is the first time I've worked with them. Do you know what I mean? And they're you know, basically she said you're going to need this form. She said I was told, you know that thing of in Irish of Dúirt Lum, Grúirt Lehe kind of thing. So she was told that she had to give me this form, and yeah. So that's I just want to know what it was. I want to understand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a number on the form. So on your invoice, go down where it says message or even in.
Okay.
Just have VAT 56B number, and there's a number on that form. Just quote that, and you're fine.
Okay. Okay. Great stuff. Quote the number on the invoice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's good. Then I know what I need to do with it, right?
Yeah. So you don't charge them VAT. We just think on the EUS. I'm not sure which rate we use, but I'd see what that would be. Just export. Charge them 0% actually in that case.
Yeah. Okay. Because I tell you what, it's a company, right? And like I was delivering training, so some of them are in Ireland, and then some of them are in Utah, and some of them are in Texas. Do you know what I mean? So it's like a global kind of finance group kind of thing. Right. But it's going to be just okay. So you say charging. Just say that again, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, they're exempt if they're trading anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But if it's something like a consultation that there's something a bit more vatable in it. Yeah. Go to 0%.
Okay, 0%.
If there's a vatable element there.
Okay. There is a vatable element.
The girl who gave you that is probably just a secretary, doesn't really know which.
Well, in all fairness, now she's the finance head in there. Do you know what I mean? So she's but she probably doesn't do, so I maybe she's new in it. I don't know, but it's kind of like this now. As long as we all have our I's done and T's ticked, that's really okay. But for example, if I'm invoicing them for training, all right. So should I do it outside the EU? So probably outside. It's a no VAT. Yeah. Okay.
If it's training, I just go exempt. I mean, VAT doesn't even come into it.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no VAT on it anyway, so.
Yeah, exempt. Yeah. Okay. That's a kind of a very moot point, really, indeed. Okay. All right. And then for the VIES thing, okay.
Yeah.
I've contacted the revenue about that, and they kind of said you need to update your settings on ROS, which I've done. But when I rang Roz or rang Revenue about it, they said it could take a couple of weeks. So, and then, it's kind of think, well, what checks are you making to make sure that it's all vatable? And I'm thinking like, holy shit, the only thing I do is I just know the people. Do you know what I mean? I don't kind of go through a big long checklist of things. So I was probably naive, but that's what I put down. I just said, look, I just know the people. Do you know what I mean? So that may or may not tick the boxes for them. I don't know. So there's something else.
Yeah, anyway, there'll be another form to be filed, and anyone, well, that main customer,
Yeah.
Once you have their VAT number, and on this VIES form, we'll say you've done 1,000 or 5,000 worth of sales.
Yeah.
They'll just want to know the name. It's a good bit of info. The name, address, how much you charge them, their VAT number.
Okay.
And I think that's the key stuff. And it'll be a list down.
Okay.
Okay. But if you find, there might be to keep them happy over there, and we'll keep with it. But you might find after a while, maybe a year or something, the VIES crowd will say you don't need you registered for this. They might try and cut your admin, so. But
yeah, I think what
leave it.
Yeah, because I think what happened is that they're going through their checks and process, which are fine, and obviously like checking that I'm on VIES is part of their supplier checks. Do you know what I mean? So and that's which is
people happy.
Yeah, exactly. So but I presume, I suppose I always kind of think the revenue really at the end of the day, they're people. Do you know what I mean? And if you kind of try and rightly or wrongly, I kind of think if you try and be straight with them and they kind of know that you're not trying to pull their leg,
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Maybe I'm kind of naive, but I kind of think at the end of the day, they're people like the rest of us. So trying to do their job.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've kind of covered pretty much everything that I need to know at this point, Kevin. So
right.
What I'll do is I now need to kind of spend maybe just go back into my own accounts, get everything up to date, get the VAT thing in, get my VAT return submitted, get that over the line, and then I might come back and maybe do another session with you if there's anything I have any other questions on, if that's okay.
Okay, well, have a crack at the first VAT return. It'd be a good one.
Okay.
And you can drop me an email and I'll take a look.
Okay.
And, it's all there for you. So I'll put this on YouTube, an unlisted thing. I'll send you the link for it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, once you get your QuickBooks there, and click on that VAT button every now and again, because as you enter your bills and claim a bit of VAT here and there,
yeah,
you see that build up each time you do it.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Your understanding, you'll get more comfortable with it very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is that like it's just it's a learning curve. So I'd say probably by the end of the year, I know exactly what I need to do and I'm fine, and I can.
Yeah.
Can ask that. So listen, Kevin, that was really helpful. Thank you. Really, that's really set my mind at ease about a lot of this stuff. So that, great stuff. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
No worries, and best of luck with it all.
Okay, no problem. All right, mind yourself. Have a good Easter. Take care.
You.
You too. Bye.
Bye, dear.